Hi, I'm Jin.
Right.
And today we're going to work on is the number 3 line of attack. Okay, so we already know the number 1 line. That's the center line. Okay, the number 2 line, which is not very common, but that's goes from my shoulder to opposite shoulder, right? So it follows one side of the triangle, either side, right? This way or this way. Okay. Today we're going to work on number 3 line. Now, number 3 line goes. It follows the same angle of one side of the triangle. But you're going to take the hand. Okay. You're going to bring it over to your other shoulder line, and then you follow that line towards his opposite shoulder, towards his center. You got it? So the hand is going to come over to your shoulder line and then come across to the opposite shoulder line. Okay? So up and then out. Okay? So number 2 line goes same side from here, and it just goes across this way. Right? Number 1 line goes straight. Right? Number 3 line goes across and then cuts in. Almost like a back fist. The same angle. See that? A back fist. But see how my elbow is out? This is no good, right? We already know. So we drop the elbow. Okay? If we drop the elbow, okay, the movement, you'll fall naturally into the number 3 line. It follows one side of the triangle. One side of the triangle. Okay? But before we start working on that punch, I want to talk a little bit about your body frame, your body structure, okay? And how you can, there's a lot of Wing Chun methods out there, and they are primarily the hand controls the body. Okay? The hand moves first, and then the body catches up. Okay? So they do a lot of that, and the body kind of catches up. Okay? We don't do that. Okay? So we've been working really hard to develop the body frame, the body structure. Okay? Now, how to use it while you're punching? It sounds easy to do, but we do just the opposite. It's the body controls the hand. So the body moves in first, the hand moves second. So more important than the hand going in is our body structure moving in. That's, for us, that's the most important thing. Okay? So how can you practice first just developing that body? Now I'll show you why this drill is important. We're going to do a drill and we're going to show you why this is important. So put your right foot in. Okay. So you can practice like this with your partner. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of pressure above Mike's knee. Okay? You can put both hands here, or one hand on the shin, one hand on the knee, like this. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a little bit of pressure. Okay? My body. Now, his job is to step forward. If Mike, right now, goes 60-40, weight, 60% of the weight on the back leg, 40% on the front leg. Right, this is our stance, right? Other martial art, other Wing Chun, they have different weight distribution, but this is how I was taught how to do it. Now, from here, I put pressure on his front leg. Now, if Mike goes a step, but he puts the weight on his rear leg first, as soon as he does that, I can push him away. He's going to lose his balance. So he cannot shift his weight to his back leg and then go forward. Right? If he's completely on, some methods are 100% on the back leg, okay? And nothing on the front, or 90% and 10% on the front leg. Okay? But if he does that, then as soon as I put pressure, it's almost impossible for him to stop me. That's how come we go 60-40. 60-40, okay? He can resist my pressure, okay? You got it? 60-40. Now, how does he step then? The key is shovel method. We talked about the shovel method. Shovel, my hip, right? I come in, I grab the shovel, I dig it into the ground, and I shovel by using the back end and my hip to get underneath. Okay? This is why we do 60-40. When you go 60-40 weight, you're already naturally in a shovel position. So this is good for us. So the next thing, what we want to practice is what Mike wants to do is jack up his knee. He wants to lift his knee. Now, very important, I want you to look at his foot. Okay? See, he comes to the ball of foot and he raises the knee and he jacks me up with the hip and the knee. Yeah, go back down. See? If I put pressure, he goes, see, he lifts my whole body up through that knee. Okay? So his weight is here. There's a lot of weight here. Okay? And he's very strong. Okay? Now, he's not going to go back, but he's going to do what we call skate. You know how the skaters, they go like this. Okay? They don't go forward. Okay? They skate. So once he's up like this, okay, he's going to take that foot and he's going to skate, okay, and bring this foot forward. Okay, so watch. Right, so here, first, he jacks up the knee. Okay, then he's going to skate that front foot forward. Now, once he's here, I still feel his weight. Okay, so he hasn't gone to the back leg yet. Now, he has to use his toes. Okay, toes, like here's the ground, here's the foot. So once the foot is down, he uses the toes to grip the ground and pull his back end forward. Forward. Okay? So Hawkins calls it like a worm, right? A worm pulls itself by lifting the front and bringing the back up, and then he steps. Right? That's exactly what we're doing. Okay, so go back. So step number 1, 60-40. Okay? And give your partner resistance, and then he's going to jack you up like this. Next thing is he's going to take that skate step with the front leg. Now go back. Do it again. Lift the knee. Step. Now the last part is use the toes to bring the back end up. Now he's moved. Okay? He's advanced. Okay? And you're going to keep practicing like this. Just step, step, and drag. Knee, step, and drag. And as your partner, my job is to keep pressure so that if he ever makes a mistake, he ends up going backwards. And then he instantly knows that he did something wrong. Okay? You got it? So one more time. Jack, step, drag. You got it? And practice that. Practice that with your partner. That step, moving your entire body structure in, is so important that if you cannot do that, you cannot do anything in Hawkins' method. Because that's the key to everything, is get your body structure in. If I just step, if I'm like this, and I shift my weight, and then try to launch myself, the problem is that as soon as I do this, if he times it and gives me pressure, then I'm going to go flying. Okay? So the trick is to be able to do this step without sacrificing your structure while you're moving in. And moving in with a strong structure behind you. Okay? Now, practice that. Then you can practice the punch. Okay? Number 3 line. Okay? Okay, you can practice like this, okay? So all I'm doing is, right here, just put it off to the side, I don't want to hit you. Okay? So practice, so it's like this, okay? So it goes from here, it goes to my shoulder line. You notice this is my front foot, okay? My front foot, my front hand, okay? So I bring it across to my shoulder line, okay? And then once it's across to my shoulder line, see my wrist? Okay? I get the smell of the wrist. Then I extend the hand, making sure that the elbow is down, not up, not like a back fist. Down. And then I cut across that angle. Okay? Here. Like I taught you before, right? Okay? Right here, I'm in medium range. When I initially touch the mitt for your partner, you should always be, as soon as you touch, medium range. You can't be long range. See, this is no good. Okay? He hasn't moved. Okay? So pad. How do I do that? See my foot? I step. So I time it with the step. I move the body. I told you the body controls the hand for us. So I want to use the body in. The hand second comes in. You got it? Okay. So this is the number 3 line. Come across, lift, step in, touch the bent arm. Then you can finish with the extension. Okay? As long as you have that right range, right? Across, lift the jacket up, your knee, step in, and finish. Okay? Number 3 line. And then bring it right back. Then once you have that, then real easy, just practice number 2 line, number 3 line together. We have Ji Chun Choi, which is number 1 line. Right? So we have the straight punch. We know that one. Okay? The number 2 line goes across this way, like I'm throwing a baseball. Okay? Number 2 line. Then the number 3 line follows the same angle. Okay? Got it? And then just practice just like your chain punch, but only at that angle. This angle. I follow the angle, then my other hand follows the same angle. Okay? And I just practice chain punch. You can see my structure on my body always moving in. Always moving in. Okay? That's how we practice. Number 2 line, number 3 line. Like I said, number 2 line, number 3 line only found in the fighting side of the Wing Chun branch. I don't really, and the number 3 line specifically, only Hawkins. I've never seen it anywhere else. Right? But why do we use that line? Again, we use it to crash. We use it to crash because that side of the Wing Chun branch, there were a lot of fighters, and they ran into a lot of problems trying to always go to the center. Okay? So a lot of times, if I punch Mike straight, he can use the number 2 line to cut across my hand. See? Then he can follow, because he just cleared this line. He can follow the same angle with the number 3 line. See? And then he can follow again with the number 2 line. See? And then he can, if he wants, he can always go back to number 1 line. So when we're training, okay, if my punches, okay, I go number 2 line, number 3 line, okay. But if he changes and he tries to face me or something, right? Okay, then I go to this side. I can change to number 2 line this side, number 3 line. Right? If he squares and face me, right, then I can go straight to number 1 line. Right? So we use these 3 lines to do a lot of jamming. Jam his arms. Okay? But it only works if you use your body structure. Okay? If my punch is straight, other hand, so they can see. Okay? And I try to use let's say a number 3 line to cut across, but I try to use my arm, you punch, I go like, there's no way, because I'm using, because he has the stronger line, right? So I'm trying to go cut into him with just my arm. It's never going to work, right? Unless you, of course, are bigger, stronger, faster than your partner. Then you can get away with anything, right? So it's important that if you're going to use this line, or number 2 line, or number 3 line, you punch, and I use this butcher punch, this number 3 line, I use my body, see? I use my body, see? That's what cuts his line, gets rid of him, okay? And all I'm trying to do is, whatever's in my way, okay, I jam it with my body frame. I just get rid of it. I get rid of it. Get rid of anything in my way using these 3 angles, these 3 lines of attack. Okay? Number 1 line, number 2 line, number 3 line. Got it? So practice that drill. More important than the hand movements, practice that resistance with a partner, holding your knee, okay? And that's it, okay? So practice that so that you understand that nothing will work if you cannot get your body in to your body structure in, okay, while your hand's about to attack, okay, or to use your hands or to use your feet, okay? So practice that movement. It's so important. That drill is so important, okay? And that's it, all right? So we'll talk to you soon. And anything else? Okay. Anything that we need? Oh, Dallas, he's always making a monthly donation, and he asked me a question, so I wanted to make sure that he understood my answer. Okay, so he asked is about elbows. He says when he elbows, right? It hurts him, right? It hurts his elbow. Okay. I'm talking from. Okay, first of all, I told him, well, he goes, when would it be a good time to use an elbow? Elbows for us is dangerous to use. And why? Okay? Because when you elbow someone, okay, it means you have to shift. You have to shift. Shift your body, shift your shoulders. So if let's say I'm in a 100% or 90% weight, 10% in the front, right? Okay? And I'm facing Mike, okay? And he gives me put a lot of pressure on my arm, okay? I can't hold this because of we already talked about this, it's not going to work, right? So how do I get rid of the pressure, right? Okay? When I'm like this, right? Put pressure, I have to shift. Okay? So that's how come I can try maybe an elbow. But the problem is, the elbow is, it has to be all or nothing. It has to be, you have to knock him out or you are in huge trouble. The reason is because if I turn this position, he's going to help me turn the direction I want to go. Then he's not going to give that position back. I can't turn to face him anymore, right? Now, if he's continuing to give me a lot of pressure, right, now I'm going to the ground. Okay? I'm going to get dumped. So that's how come shifting on your hips and your shoulder, it's all or nothing. You have to, that move has to take him out. Has to, or you're in trouble. So I don't like to gamble like that. So some people, they do, and they get away with it. That's fine. Okay? I personally wouldn't do that. Okay? But to answer his question, when would I, why is it hurting his elbow? Okay. Another thing is, to elbow someone, to elbow someone means, especially if he's taller than me. And when you get in a fight, they're always taller than you. I wish I would get in fights with small guys. Okay? Then I wouldn't have to know anything. I just, right? Bulldog them. But they're always taller than you. So you have to reach. Okay? A lot of times you have to reach. Okay? To get to the body or to get to their face, right? You have to, a little bit, you have to aim high. Now, Mike's slightly taller than me, so when I have to elbow it to reach it, to get him to put on his head, right, I have to reach the elbow up. But see, my shoulder comes up. When my shoulder comes up, he's just going to help push it. Yeah, in other words, my body structure is gone. Whenever your shoulders turn and your hips turn, okay, and my elbow comes up, my shoulder comes up, I'm so top heavy that I have no root. So my body structure is completely gone. I can't stop his force coming in. Near impossible. Okay? That's why I said it's an all or nothing thing. So I don't like to use this elbow. Okay? But if you guys are going to use it and you guys are going to train, okay, I'm going to teach you a Muay Thai elbow. Thai elbow. Okay? This one, if I had to, I would use it. Okay? Especially if you hit him and he falls down, or you kick him and you bring him down to your level. Okay, now I can use the elbow coming in, okay? Snap elbow. But okay, so when you elbow something hard, especially like a skull, my skull, very hard. Okay? So when you elbow, you don't want to use it blunt, like this. Everybody thinks of elbow like this. Okay? In Thai boxing, the elbows are not used to knock people out. Okay? They're used to cut. Okay? Because if I can cut you and you're bleeding, there's a good chance the fight's going to stop and I win. So they don't use the elbows to knock people out. And this is very hard to knock someone out this way. Okay? But easy to cut. Okay? So they call them snap elbows. Snap elbows. And how do you do a snap elbow? The joints are at their strongest, okay, when they are fully at the end of range of motion, at the full end of range of motion. If I try to do an elbow like this, see, there's still a lot of range of motion here. I try to elbow like this, the joint is weak. Okay? So this is not good for me. Okay? The joint is floating, right? And then it hits something hard, then I'm going to jar it. This is no good. So you want to get full range of motion of the hand first. That means you touch use your back of your hand, touch the center of your chest. Okay? See this? Now when I elbow, okay, my arm is in a completely bent position. My joint is completely locked. Okay? Much safer this position, all right? Now from here, when I elbow, I bring this elbow across, and then I slash it down. See? I come up and then down. So across and then down. Okay? That's called a snap elbow. Okay? You do this, right? You do this. So limp wrist, slash. Come across and slash, down. Okay? This is called a snap elbow. Okay? So they use the bone to just graze your face, and they snap it. They snap the movement. Okay? And that creates the cuts. And they cause nasty cuts. Okay? So again, you're not trying to use it like a club. Right? Okay? You're using it, exactly, like a knife, small knife, right? Right? So you have that kind of downward action, okay? So make sure when you practice that, you practice those little things, okay? That elbow, I could see myself maybe using. But again, Wing Chun, Chinese boxing is about maintaining medium range, bent arm. If I elbow, I'm already too close to him. I'm in trouble, okay? It's very difficult to maintain this range because you're already very close. This range is a little bit safer, okay? So, but like I said, you have to experiment. You have to try what works for you, okay? And but that's again how I would practice snap elbow, okay? All right. So thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you next week.